So if someone was rude to you and you didn't like it, and you just brushed it off like a spark from a fireplace before it burned a hole in your sleeve, if you just brushed it off, then there's nothing about it that affects you. It was just a moment in time where you rendezvoused. Law of attraction put you there because of something that was going on with you, but you didn't exaggerate the situation because you didn't think about it. You didn't ponder it. You didn't wonder what the ulterior motives were. You didn't discuss it with someone else. You didn't blog about it. You didn't email. You didn't write an article about it. You didn't put it in your journal. You didn't write it in your diary. You didn't make a computer note of it. You didn't make a captain's log of it. You didn't say, for all to remember from this point forward, on this day, that person was rude to me and I didn't like it. You didn't make a big deal about it, and because you didn't make a big deal about it, you didn't practice the vibration of it, and so you've brushed it off. And now, if you just brushed it off, then someone pretty much like that is going to show up pretty often in your experience, because there's something going on in your vibration that attracts people like that showing up in your experience. They won't come more and they won't come less. They'll keep coming just like they've been coming because it happened and you just brushed it off. But if it happened and it made you feel bad and you pondered it for a moment, during the first few seconds of that, you launched a few rockets into your vortex of creation. You launched rockets that say, I deserve to be respected, and I want to be respected, and I want to treat others with respect, and I want to feel good about life, and I like to feel secure, and I want to be secure in my experience, and I want to be an emanator of love, and I want to be an attractor of love, and I want to experience the well-being that I was born, and I want to know my worthiness. In other words, like rapid-fire rockets going into your vibrational escrow. So now, all of that happened in the moment of your perception of being mistreated. But now, because you've launched all those rockets, just like in the previous statement that we offered to you, you launched the rockets, they were rude, you're experiencing the opposite of what you want, and in the moment this problem occurred, you put a solution into your vibrational reality, which is what precedes all realities. Another way of saying it is, you expanded because of this exposure to this person that you perceive to be treating you in a rude manner. But this time, you don't just flick it off. You don't just pretend that it didn't bother you. This time, you acknowledge, that hurt. I felt negative emotion, which means I've got a habit of attraction that doesn't mesh with the pattern of attraction that I would like to be. In other words, I'm attracting rude people. It happens every now and again. I must have something in the mix of me that could be cleaned up, that would then leave me in a better creative stance. So you don't brush it off and you don't make it worse. You make it better. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You say something like, this wasn't personal. Their rudeness was emanating from their disconnection. And I rendezvoused with it because I'm a vibrational match to it, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be a vibrational match to rudeness because I'm mostly nice, and most people I know are nice. And we want to get along, and we don't need everybody to behave in exactly the same way for us to get along. I want to be a liver of unconditional love. I want to be able to look at people, and when they're rude, I want to love them and think to myself, not necessarily engage them in conversation. I want to think to myself, you're having a hard day, and I wish a better day for you. And I wish a different rendezvous for me. So, thanks for the update. Thanks for the update about my vibrational stance. And thanks for helping me focus more specifically in the direction of who I really am and who you really are and what I really want and what you really want. Thanks for the update. And now, because of this encounter, you shifted your vibration. Your point of attraction has changed. You now have far less probability of running into somebody like that again. In other words, you're going to have to go looking for it to find something like that. Now, later that day, you could be with another friend because you've been attracted for another reason. You could have already had a previous engagement. So you sit down, you're having a conversation, you're enjoying them, You notice a little furrow in their brow. You wonder what's wrong. They psychically pick up on your wondering. They read your body language. They see you as someone who's empathetic. And they think, this is someone that I can reveal to. And then they say, something very troubling happened to me. Now, you could flick it off. You could flick it off. You could get up from the table and run away fast. You could feel defensive. You could feel warning. You could feel uncomfortable. You could want to head it off. Or you could let it come as a consequence of your natural attraction. You could let this person vent to you, because in the venting of this person's problem, in the moment of the activation of the problem, you are going to launch an equal and equivalent solution. So you're going to benefit from this interaction no matter which way it goes, really. But then, once you launch the rocket, you've got some decisions to make. You can ignore it, which means you'll stay right there, and this friend will vent to you on a regular basis, and others probably too. Or you can let this person vent his problem, which causes you to activate a solution, and then you can, maybe not in that moment, but as soon as this interaction has ended, you can spend time thinking about what it is you want for this friend. You can spend time activating within you, as the source within you already has, the solution to whatever problem he activated and verbalized to you. And if you do that, you'll feel the relief of coming into alignment. Now, you might say, that's odd, Abraham. I felt pretty good. He took me into a worse feeling place, and then I compensated for the worse feeling place by reaching for a better place. What have I gained? And we say, you've gained the power of focus. You've gained the benefit of the rocket that this person helped you launch. You've gained the benefit of launching a rocket and catching up to it. And most of all, you've achieved a new vibrational place, a new vibrational stance relative to this subject. And most important of all, you have done what you came to do. You have been a deliberate creator in that you've used the clay of the vibration that surrounds you, and you have created something better than existed before. In other words, you've got your hands in the clay. We want you to understand that you don't want to avoid troubling people. You don't want to go looking for them either. But it is so helpful to understand that if something troubling comes into your experience, it's there for an important reason. It's active in your vibration. To condemn whatever came for coming when you ask for it, even though you didn't know you did, is the wrong way of going about it. To blame it for coming, them for coming, what they said, what they did, to blame them when it's active in your vibration is really barking up the wrong tree. What you want to do is receive it and feel with your emotions the vibrational validity. Does it harmonize with who I really am and what I want, or is it off? And if there's any negative emotion, it's off. And what does that mean? When it's off, you got to get it back on. And when something's off and you work to get it back on, not by changing the condition, but by changing your approach to it, when you get it back on, you tune your vibrational frequency to a better feeling place, and you set up your future manifestation to include less of that. And every time you do it, you sharpen your point of focus until you become this sort of laser beam of clear energy that just attracts nice people, complimentary people, benefiting people, loving people, interesting people. You become a beacon for those who are, now, you are already a beacon. You're already a beacon for who's ever coming. If you notice there's a lot of ornery people around you, you're a beacon. If you notice there are a lot of needy people around you, you're beckoning them in. So if needy people come to you, does that mean you're needy? No, it means needy's active in you. It means you're noticing needy. Don't want needy. Or want to help needy. In other words, whatever's coming is coming for a reason, and you're the reason. Your thoughts and how you feel. Your words and how you feel. Your behavior and how you feel. So what we are suggesting, as you begin to make the conscious transfer where the dominant part of you in your human body, in your physical perspective, as you're deciphering this time-space reality, if you will make it your dominant intention to be forward feeling rather than current looking, you will find that you will bridge that gap between what you've asked for and what's manifested in record time. There is so much leverage in alignment, and there is little leverage in banging around in physical things and trying to make things happen through your physical behavior. When Esther awakened this morning, she was delighted that she had a whole extra hour. Ooh, the luxury of that. And she said to us, could you arrange one of those every day? How far off the calendar would we get if every day we just took an extra hour and never gave them back? Let's just every day take an extra hour. And we said to Esther, as she playfully laid there and contemplated the sweetness of an extra free hour to have her way with, we said, when you get into the vortex, you get a leverage of time that is far more than that extra hour that you are benefiting now. When you get into the vortex where you are a cooperative component to all of the other cooperative components, when your impulse to place that telephone call comes when the person is sitting there in the mindset to receive it in the way you want them to receive it, that's leverage. When your impulse to pull in your cords and get onto the highway in your big monster bus, when the impulse comes and you follow it and you enter the traffic as it flows rather than as it stalls, you have leverage of time. When you don't hesitate in the moment that would be the right moment and instead you move forward, when you have the gift of alignment, there is a time leverage that cannot be defined in your physical senses, because time is perceptual. And when you are in alignment and therefore vibrating in harmony as a cooperative component to others that the universe has already lined up for you. You see, when you ask for something, in that pure asking, even though you may not be pure in your thinking, your asking is, your inner being stands there, and law of attraction has already brought all cooperative components to the complete fruition of what you've asked for. Your solution is present tense complete in the vibrational reality that we are speaking of. We are not kidding you at all. And when you practice the vibration of alignment, when you care about how you feel, when being in this vortex matters to you more than all other things put together, now you have good timing. Now your perception is altered. Jerry said yesterday as they were walking back to their suite, after the first hour that we were together with those who joined us here yesterday, I was in a time warp, he said, because the material that was given and the notes that I took and the stars that I made and the interest that I felt and the intentions that erupted within me to go back and listen to it and the amount of information that was received felt like 10 hours of information given in that hour. That's leverage. That's leverage. When you're in the vortex, you hear what we say. When you're not in the vortex, there's not enough time to get you to hear it. Not enough words in the world, not enough examples in the world. The vortex is your key to way more than an extra hour every day. We're eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. It is our powerful intent to coax you into your vortex. Begin right here. Further back? Yes.